Yo, you want to see something cool? No? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Welcome back to another episode. I was flipping through, I can't remember if it's Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, and someone said that the world was $300 trillion in debt to somebody. Who? How's the world in debt? How is a place that a planet that has everything that we need? We have to be the only place that has everything we need to survive, and we create a system to enslave people. How is that possible? And it got me digging, and I came across the Federal Reserve. And I've talked about it, but the Federal Reserve isn't federal, and there's nothing reserved about it. So we're going to expose a little light on it today, and I hope y'all stick with me. We'll keep it short, but we'll start back to the birth of this beast. And that's all the way back in 1913. There's a secret meeting with Jekyll Island, a bunch of bankers and shady politicians and CEOs, if they had that back then, or just owners of corporations. You know, the usual suspects, all in cigar-filled rooms and candlelight and hookers and bourbon. Just sketchy Monopoly-looking dudes. You know, the villain, the villainous type that you always see them with a little stringy mustache. All those guys. And this was all during Christmas when America was, getting together with family, celebrating, the birth of Christ and giving gifts and eating and shopping. 1913 style, whatever they did. I'm old, I'm not that old. But Congress got together and they pushed this Federal Reserve Act. And then all of a sudden, America's money supply gets handed to private bankers in pinstripes, and democracy's gift to the world is debt. Debt wrapped in a bow on Christmas. Thank you so much. All this that comes with inflation. Inflation is the hidden tax. That silent thief. Every time the Fed prints money, your paycheck buys less. You didn't vote for a higher tax, but we get it anyway. They call it quantitative easing. And I've heard that before, and I said, what the heck is quantitative easing? And what it is the Fed goes and prints money that they don't have. They flood the system with money to encourage people to go get bank loans to go buy more shit. The shit that they say the same people that own these companies say that we need. So they can tax it. The stuff we borrow, so they have interest rates put on stuff. The more money they have, the more interest rate they get back, the more interest they get back on that loan. That's what that easing is. That's not easing. That's easing something right up our keister. We get screwed. The game's rigged. It's been rigged. When Wall Street, 2008, for example, Wall Street and American corporations, they gambled on poor business loans, poor housing loans, bullshit car stuff, and they got bailed out. General Motors got bailed out. All these banks got bailed out. I talked about that with Larry Fink. Larry Fink and BlackRock. They're the ones that caused it, and they're the ones that bailed everybody out. They say, hey, Larry Fink's the one that caused that. Let's go ahead and ask him how we can fix it. And Larry said, no, you just give us all your money, we'll fix it. And it just, that's not letting a fox in the hen house. That's letting a whole pack of wolves in the hen house. But, if you or me, we miss a month or two. We got the sheriff come knocking on our door, ready to put us outside, make us taxpayers homeless, put our families out in the cold. That doesn't sound fair, does it? That corporations and businesses can get away with poor decisions, and the taxpayers still have to turn around and bail them. The CEO of GM makes $16 million a year. She makes $16 million a year to make poor decisions financially for a company, and they keep her in office. They keep her in power. This is just ridiculous. And it all comes back. There's a cult of secrecy and all this stuff. Closed door meetings, no cameras, no accountability. Just a few people deciding your rent, your car loan, your house note, your job security, all that stuff. And when they do step up and get called out into it, they puke something up, some word salad, some coleslaw of nonsense. And in translations, and the American people get screwed again. But MSNBC, CNBC, and CNN and Fox, oh, it's fine. It's fine. America will bounce back on its feet. No, there's going to be a time where the 9 lives of America is going to be spat, and we're going to land flat on our backs. Happened before. The Great Depression. Remember soup lines? A lot of you young kids, very few of you listen to this, there were soup lines. People stood in lines for bread and soup. Whole families. Miles of this stuff. And you had to get there early so you know you was going to be able to eat. Because of poor business decisions. And guess what? That was after 1913. That was during the Wall Street and all this other stuff. That should have let everybody know. That what we've done, gotten away from the gold and silver standard to a fiat currency, is bullcrap. So the next time someone tells you the Federal Reserve is here to protect our economy, remember, it's smog. Hoarding the dragons and the hoarding dragon in Lord of the Rings. You remember the dragon that had all the gold, and he knew when one little stone was taken. He knew it. And then he starts breathing fire. It's not fire, it's debt. It's debt that the Fed puts us in. It's debt that Congress lets them put us in. We need to get away from the Federal Reserve. What are they going to do? What is the World Bank going to do when America says, you know what? We don't want fiat currency anymore. We don't want Federal Reserve anymore. We'll take care of ourselves. Remember, stay loud, stay lit. Silence is surrender. And the Fed's counting on you to shut up. Good night.